Oh gosh, I think I might have to put the light on. Maybe not. Shite. Honey, I was going to get up and do it. I'm just trying to set it. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. All right. Hey, Freddie. Great. Okay. Hi, my name is Mary Kay, and we are talking today, right here, about ketones and healthy living. Okay? I think I put healthy living and ketones on the title, but there you go. So, I'm sure, and again, if you're listening on the replay, thank you very much. I'm sure most of you heard about ketones, but do you know what ketones are all about? Some people do, some don't. Basically, ketones are bodies of energy that are produced by what we call lipolysis or fat burning. So as we burn fat, we have ketones that are a byproduct, and they are little bundles of energy. Now, when we're born, we have lots of ketones because we don't eat, okay? We don't eat in the womb. We get our nourishment through blood, plus our activities would burn any fat and things like that, okay? So what's the deal with ketones? Well, a lot of people go on a ketogenic diet. And what a ketogenic diet does is a ketogenic diet goes in and you eat in a certain fashion so that you're producing ketones. And as you're producing ketones, then you're providing yourself with energy that came from fat burning, okay? Now, people get all kind of weirded out about ketones. They think they're dangerous. They think they're, something bad's going to happen to you. They're not healthy for you. But the simplest description of what ketones are is this. Ketones are indicators that you are a fat burner. Now, if you're using glucose, which comes from carbohydrates, sugars, and things like that, then you are a glucose burner. Now, I'm not here to tell you one's better than the other because some people do really well with ketones. Some people do really well on glucose. There are certain parts of our body that thrive on glucose and need glucose. And we have glucose that's distributed through muscle tissue and other places in our body, so that when we need glucose, we can get it from those sources if we are functioning on ketones. But what if I told you that there was a way that you could have ketones without having to stick to a stringent diet, okay? A stringent ketogenic diet. Well, you can. And I found out about this probably back in last July. And I started taking exogenous ketones. Now, these are ketones that are not made within the body. They're a product. They're made outside the body, okay? And within 30 minutes of taking the supplement, you can be in ketosis, okay? Within 30 minutes, you can be in ketosis. So what's the advantage? Well, the advantage is for me, is I don't have to stick to this diet and hope I go into ketosis. Because there's a lot of things that, you have to burn fat, but are you really burning fat? And that needs to be checked. It can be quite complex. However, so number one, I know that within 30 minutes of taking these exogenous ketones, I can be in ketosis and I will be helping my body to burn fat, okay? The next thing is, I have to say, the first time I tried the ketones, wrong button. But the first time I tried the ketones, I could feel, of course, I'm very sensitive, but I could feel my whole body sort of vibrating. I could feel the energy in my body. And I felt really quite like with the program. Because what happens is the exogenous ketones, they're there, they're ready, they're available. So they start going to work. You get mental clarity, you get decrease in inflammation, you get increased energy, and you get fat burning. Okay? Now, a lot of people say, oh, okay, I'm going to use these, I'm going to lose weight. They're not sold as a weight loss product simply because there's more to it than just ketones. Okay, more to weight loss than just ketones. However, they do help. Absolutely. And if you're producing them, then you're burning fat. But by adding the exogenous ketones, then we are putting our body in a state of ketosis where we are now fat burners. And just think, imagine when, let's say, take a time when you were either dieting or say you worked all day and you couldn't get to food straight away and you began to get hungry. And now in today's world, we all look at hunger as sort of a, oh my God, we got to stop that hunger because that's bad and your blood glucose will fall. And oh my gosh, we've got to get rid of we've got to get rid of the hunger. But what does that hunger really mean? The hunger means that you are actually switching from burning glucose to burning ketones, okay? Or excuse me, burning fat, thereby producing ketones. So hunger indicates that we have processed all of the available food that we have eaten. We've processed that for energy, and now we need to find another source, which means that at that point, the body will begin to burn fat so that we will have energy for us to continue to do what we need to do. So this is one of the main things about fat burning and ketones. All right. So ketones are an energy source. They are produced by our body by using a ketogenic diet. A ketogenic diet is a diet high in fat, moderate in protein, and low in carbohydrates. Basically, when I started taking ketones, I ended up just doing a low carb diet mostly. I probably, allow myself a little more fat than usual. I have a little tracker that I use. Now, excuse me. From all this, from what I've done, from working with the ketones and watching my food and doing what I do, I have lost, since July, I've lost right at 60 pounds. I've dropped from a size 30 to a size 24. And I am way healthier than I was. I have way more energy. I have control over what I eat and how I eat. And that goes into a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother talk. But I do intermittent fasting as well. But the bottom line is we're here about the ketones today. Ketones they're healthy. They're part of our body process. Our body can do amazing things if we just know how to use the food to allow our bodies to do what it needs to do. Such as, there is a way that we can eat that would increase what we call autophagy. And autophagy is where the body goes through and starts scavenging up and cleaning up cells that are not the best, and they're probably on their last legs, getting ready to dissolve anyway, getting ready to be used up. And how the body uses them then is they take them and they repurpose them into energy so that that's another source of energy when we get low on energy. However, what it also does is tidies up and cleans up the old dead cells and helps the process of growing new cells. So this is another thing that we can accomplish in a process by allowing our body to do its job. And the biggest problem that we have is that we don't really understand how our body really works. I'm a retired nurse, and I'm still learning lots of things about how our body works. I'll be listening to all these reading the articles, listening to them, and going, geez, all these years, I didn't know that. The only thing I really knew about something similar to autophagy was that excuse me, every 7 years, your body, you have a whole new process of cells in your body and organs, and they all reprocess. That's the only thing I knew. But the bottom line is our body can be healthy, can be well, if we learn how to treat it right, if we learn how to feed it correctly, and if we learn how to take care of ourselves. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So ketones are, ketones are a normal part of our system. They're a normal part of our function. They are normal bodies that we produce in our own body. What the exogenous ketones have done is they have found a way to produce ketones and allow us to take them internally so that we have a quick and efficient and rapid source of energy, so that as we are going along our way, whether we're doing low carb or ketogenic, that we can continue to reap the benefits from having ketone bodies in us, which is, let's go over again, mental clarity, increased focus, decreased inflammation, increased energy, and fat burning. Now, who doesn't need a little fat burning? Okay, especially after this lockdown. We need it. So these are the big important parts about the talk that I want to tell you. What do ketones give you? What do they do for you? And see, our body is so efficient that it can switch. It can switch from glucose burning to fat burning pretty easily and pretty quickly. We run out of glucose, we don't have enough glucose, and we've processed all that we have available, then the body goes into burning ketones. And if we're eating ketogenically or low carb or taking exogenous ketones, then we have the ketones available for us to go ahead and burn ketones. Meaning, what's burning ketones mean? It means we're burning fat. Using ketones means we are burning fat. And it means we have increased focus, decreased inflammation, increased clarity, increased energy, and increased fat burning. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's all about, it's really all about the calories and the ins and the outs. But I was listening to one of the leading doctors who talk about ketones and dieting and fasting. He said that formula is based on a misconception. What it is weight lost equals calories in minus calories out, okay? But the misconception is that all items are equal, and they're not. Just because we take this many in doesn't mean all that we want are going to come out. The minus the ketones out depends on the calories out depends on many things. It's not just as simple as if I take this in, that comes out. There are so many things within our body that are affected and affect the burning of those calories. They say that you'll lose muscle. Well, your body's designed to preserve muscle. So if you're cutting calories down so that you can lose weight, then your BMR, your base metabolic rate, is going to come down too, simply because your body is preserving its muscle. Okay? It's not going to burn everything up until you've lost muscle. Now, muscle burning does happen, specifically in diseases like rhabdomyolysis, which is an acute muscle burning disease that results as different effects, overheating, different things like that. I won't go straight into them. But the bottom line is that rhabdomyolysis is muscle burning. So it's not muscle wasting, but it's muscle burning. Another way that you do absolutely lose muscle is if you starve yourself, or if you are starved. So if you're starving and not eating at all or very little or whatever, you can but end up burning. But that's because you're not getting any nutrition in. All right. This is not at all what we're talking about. We're talking about eating a good diet either ketogenically or low carb, which means I'm still going to eat protein. I'm still going to eat my fats. I'm still going to eat a few so the carbohydrates are going to be limited because I don't want my body being flooded with carbs and then thereby switching me out of ketosis and back into glucose burning. Okay? So the bottom line is, if we want a happy, healthy body, we want to teach it how to burn ketones, then this product will help you immensely, absolutely immensely. As I said in the beginning, I've dropped I'm like 58 pounds. I'm like 2 pounds away from having lost 60 pounds. I have dropped body mass. I've lost over 20 inches since July, probably I think it's close to 23, 25 inches since July. And I've dropped sizes from a size 30 down to a size 24. And this beautiful little product has made all the difference in the world to me. Simply because, here's the thing. There's no one thing, and I know I'm here telling you about a product. But this one product is not going to solve all your problems. It just isn't, okay? I'm here to tell you that. I'm not here to tell you, you buy this, and this is going to make you as thin as a rail, and everything's going to happen for you, and you're going to have a perfect dietary life because you're taking ketones. No, absolutely not. That is not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you, it is a brilliant tool to help you. If you are committed to changing your body, if you're committed to changing how you eat, if you're committed to being healthier than you are right now, these will help. Yes, absolutely. But in taking these, and I did this in the beginning, I took these, yes, this is going to fix me, this is going to do it. I didn't. I would get stuck and I'm like, what's going on? Why am I not losing? And because I was dependent on one tool, okay? And that's not it. And I was probably not as carb management minded as I should have been, all right? So the bottom line is that it takes several things. It takes the ketones. It takes managing a proper diet, whether to get good nutrition, to go ahead and either if you're going to do a ketogenic diet so you can create more ketones yourself, that's great. Or if you just stay on a low carb diet, say 30% or less. Okay, 20 to 30%, I think is what it is. Don't quote me on that, but you'll have to look that up, and I'm going to have to do better with this talk. That's all. But the bottom line is, it takes more than just this packet to fix everything. It just does. I would not want anybody to walk away from this talk to say that Mary Kay said that if they take ketones, they'll lose all this weight. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that by having increased focus, increased clarity, increased energy, increased fat burning, and decreased inflammation, I will feel better. And the one thing that I noticed is, as I was feeling better, I could put more focus and clarity to what I actually was doing to help lose the weight. What was I actually minding so that I could stick to a dietary program, eat a good dietary program, and stay within the parameters that I set for myself. Nobody set those for me. I set them. And be able to investigate other ways that would help me to lose weight. Now, excuse me, I've been working with my weight all of my life. And this is probably the first time that I have come across something that I know that I can do the rest of my life and get my weight where it needs to be and maintain myself while I'm maintaining my health. And that is the most important thing right now, is learning for me to maintain my health. So that's what I want. If you're suffering. Now, there are other people out there that are talking about that using ketones and being ketogenic can help reverse type 2 diabetes. And what happens is is that by using ketones and you're not, type 2 diabetes is, type 2 diabetes comes because your body, it becomes resistant to the insulin carbohydrate process. So in other words, what's happening is, in order to store the proper carbs, they have to be broken down into glucose, and it takes insulin to do that so it can store it. All right. And when we overload ourselves on carbs, or we're eating consistently high carb meals and we're gaining weight and we're not minding our weight, we put ourselves into a position where we're producing insulin. However, the body cannot break it down and store as much as we're giving it to do. So we end up becoming what we call insulin resistant, okay? And they are talking about, there are several, now I'm not telling you that this is for you or a fact, but they are finding that some people are reversing their type 2 diabetes by using ketones and dietary means. Anyway, I'm not here to sell you rainbows and clouds, okay? I'm not here to tell you everything is going to be perfect if you use ketones. But I am going to tell you they will help you attain your goals, and it's going to help change your life because it's done it for me. And that's a fact. Now, I'm going to put it's time, so I'm going to make my little ketones. I just put about, basically, you drink 2 doses a day, 2 packets a day. And I put mine in 500 milliliters of water. And that's all I use is water because they're very tasty. They come in a lot of flavors. This is heart tart flavor. And this heart tart flavor, what it does is it tastes like the little sweeties, the little sweet and sour tarts, candies that you get, sweeties that you get, okay? There's also Swiss cacao, which is chocolate, which I love. And there's raspberry lemonade. Those are all lovely, absolutely beautiful. And so far in Ireland, those are the 3 flavors we can get. Excuse me. If there's others that people want or like, I can get them. I go through someone in the States and I can get them. That just takes a little longer to get. However, the beauty of all this is, all I do is I take my 500 mils of water. I put my beautiful little ketones in there. And sniff the ketone dust? No. And shake them, okay? And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's pretty easy. Now I'm going to take a first drink. And they're beautiful. And it tastes lovely. And it depends on what your tastes are. Some will like some won't like them. Some will like other flavors. Okay? So, and now, within the next 30 minutes, my body will be in ketosis because I have added exogenous ketones to myself. Anyway, guys, look, I'm not a salesperson. I talk to people about things that I use that have worked for me, and hopefully they will help work for you. Okay? And never in a million years am I telling you that this is going to solve your problems. This is going to make you lose weight like crazy. That's not the point. The point is it will increase your mental clarity. It'll increase your focus. It'll decrease your inflammation. It will increase energy, and it will help to increase fat burning. That's what it does. And I find that with all things there, that and also decreases cravings. Like, I don't crave sweets or anything anymore. It's really cool. So the bottom line is this, that with the increased focus, energy, and clarity, what happens is I'm able to stick with what I'm doing so that I can accomplish what I want with my diet, with my life, with my body, that I have something I can stick to, that I have something that's helping me, and that I feel amazing. And so it's my job to put this out here to tell people there is something to help you if you need help. Okay? That's the key. There's something to help you if you need help. All right? Now, if you want to do a trial, if you'd like to do a trial, if you go to my website, www.vibrationalinstitute.com. That's www.vibrationalinstitute.com. And I'll edit that and put it in the top. If you go to my website, you'll find a header for ketones. Have a look in there, and there's 3 different packages you can buy. There's the beginner, the medium, and the longer one. There are 3 different types, and it's just a different amount of sachets. And buy a trial. And what that does, that lets you know, do you like the taste? Do you like the taste? Do you like how they make you feel? And gives you an idea of the usefulness that they will have for you. So that's what I would suggest, that you go ahead and get yourself a trial pack. Get a trial pack and see what it does for you. Because quite honestly, I'll be honest, had I not done the trial, I probably wouldn't have bought them, because I would have just gone, that's a bunch of you know what, because everybody's already out there hawking everything, and it's no. But because I actually used them and felt what they did to and for my body, that is why I went ahead and started using it. And I've been on these for 10 months. And like I said, I have lost nearly 60 pounds. I've lost the weight. I've dropped body mass. I am 23 inches down, and I've gone from a size 30 to a size 24. So that's what it's done for me. In addition to mental clarity, focus, decreased inflammation, increased energy, and all that goes. Hey guys, the Irish Psychic Roadshow. Hi. Glad you're listening. How you doing? All right. And that's what I got for you today. So I'm going to get on with my ketones because, and if you buy a trial, what you take 2 a day, and what you do is then the mini trial is only 3 packs, but that gives you 1 day of the day it arrives. That gives you an afternoon dose, and it gives you 2 doses the next day, just to get an idea of the taste and what it does or doesn't do for you. Okay. But you don't want them sitting around, because usually after the 30 minutes, they sort of go, they're not quite as effective, because you're letting them sit around outside. Okay. So you want to, when you get them, you want to drink them within 30 minutes. Okay. And enjoy them, and see what they do. And if you like them, then great. Get back in touch with me. And if you buy the sachets, I'll be notified. And I will send you some information. Once you buy the trial, I will send you some more information about them, and some things you can listen to and answer any questions that you have about them. But the reason I'm talking to you about them is they work, and they are beneficial. And if you are having trouble in your life with decreased energy, mental fogginess, inflammation, needing to burn fat, if you have anything like that, then by all means, give it a try. Give me a call. Send me a DM. Go to my Vibe Institute page, and give me a note. I'm here to help. So I have all the information that we can get, and if I don't know, I have people who will tell me what the answers are. But the bottom line is, they're very beneficial, and they are amazing. And get yourself a trial pack and see what they can do for you. See if they can help you. And if you have questions, like I said, message me, DM me, whatever. Okay? Listen, it's been fab talking to you all. I really appreciate you coming by and listening to the talk. If you're listening on replay, thank you so much for having listened to this. My website, www.vibrationalinstitute.com. Have a look at it. Get your sample pack if you're so inclined, and then get in touch with me and let me know. All right. Love you all. Good health. Lots of love. Bye-bye.